Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. I'm doing these readings early in the morning because I'm away overnight unexpectedly, but I did want to hop on and do some readings because there are two topics that really interest me. And the first is the statement that Prince William put out about the situation in the Middle East, calling basically for peace, for an end to conflict in Gaza. And I'm going to have a look at it, do a little 5-card reading with the Knights Templar Tarot. And no, it's not for conspiracy reasons. And yes, it does have unfortunate Middle Eastern connotations, but I'm just treating the cards as a conduit for information from universe, as I always do, with none of that attached to them. So please note that. And please also note that this is just tarot and it's for entertainment purposes and it is just my opinion. And just reading energy here. There's the Nine of Wands, interesting. And there is a disclaimer in the box below, of course. And I'm just going to do a quick little 5-card reading on this situation. How he feels about the situation in the Middle East, pretty obvious that he feels the same way most of us feel about it, that it must end. How he sees his role as king, because no more platitudes and wanting to be more activist. Is he frustrated right now about his role and his power, or his powerlessness, and outcome of this activism? And I'm particularly interested in his level of frustration, how he sees his role and how frustrated he might be feeling right now, because of course the king, when he is king, finally is a figurehead. Doesn't really have much constitutional power, can't go out and act and change the world, and that's one of the reasons why he has been set off for America, allegedly. I think it was just to make tons of money, but we're going to look at that in the next reading, the pair of this particular reading. We're going to look at has been as well this morning. But I have seen in William and Catherine's energy, and the statement was a joint statement from the Waleses, that they are doing a lot of self-interrogation. They are at that critical point that comes in your early 40s. It's that time of life where you look at yourself and you take stock and am I on the right path? Have I done the right things? How do I feel about my mortality? And all of that stuff starts to become quite a powerful motivation going forward. You realize that your time is short on Earth, and are you really on the right track? And it's because astrologically you're under the influences of the planets of transformation, the outer planets, Pluto and Uranus, and those planets do have a very potent effect when you hit your late 30s, early 40s, as I'm sure all of you astrologers out there will absolutely know and agree with. So what's going on, basically, is what I want to know. How he feels about the situation, how he sees his role as king. Is he really frustrated? And if he decides to become more of an activist king, how's that going to go? And one more shuffle. Fluffy has come in to join us, interestingly. Normally her, and scratch the furniture. Normally her sit outside and stare at birds at the bird feeder time. So, And let's see what's going on with Prince William right now. Oops, nearly put the wrong card out there. There we go. There are the cards. What do we have? We have the Page of Wands in reverse. That's news, that's announcements, that's precisely, he put out the statement, feeling frustrated. It's in reverse, it's because he's frustrated, he's feeling that. The message needs to get out there, it's a tough message, nobody's hearing the right message, nobody's doing the right things. It's bad news in the world, the Page of Wands in reverse, and his need to say something. Obviously quite a compelling need there to make this announcement. And I suspect that one of the reasons why the Princess of Wales is feeling so stressed and unwell and miserable at the moment, and the energy that I read on her, is this conflict, the situation in the world. She's got young children, she's going through her own traumas, seemingly, and if you look around at the world and the state the world is in right now, it can be extremely depressing and very difficult to process, difficult to know what to do. You can stick your head in the sand, you can become absolutely obsessed and demoralized by it. It's very tricky to know how to pick your way through it, and there's a lot in that Page of Wands in reverse for me, in terms of mood, in terms of how can we fix this? Is a statement enough? Page of Wands in reverse. So let's look at the actual story, the situation that they're under. Page of Swords, that's another communication. It's a more intentional message, the Page of Swords, more focused and directed. It's really a declaration of intention, but it's minor at this stage. If it was Ace of Swords, I'd say, wow, here comes a massive change of direction from Kensington Palace. But that Page of Swords is a junior energy. It's testing the waters, I think, putting this message out to see how it's received. Downing Street has been supportive, so it hasn't taken everyone by surprise. It's not a Harry kind of a pronouncement which leaves everyone reeling because no one knew it was coming. This is more measured, it's been researched, it's more of a tactical message. The Page of Swords is all about tactics and strategy and things like that. He is testing the waters with this. So how does he feel about the situation in Gaza? I'm just, by the way, drawn to this card. I saw it pop out when I was shuffling. It's the Fool, the prophet in the desert. I think he needs to come out. I just do feel that. I felt it when the card flipped over when I was shuffling. So we're going to just let him sit there and show us his energy. So how does Prince William feel about the situation in Gaza right now? The Ace of Pentacles, it needs a new start. It needs something wholly different. Aces are fresh starts, new beginnings. The Pentacles it needs a money injection. It needs resources. It needs a new and stable path set out for it. So he's not looking at it in absolute despair. That's interesting. My sense is, and I'm not reading on her in this reading, I think Catherine looks at it in despair at the moment. But I think he thinks we need to get together. We need to pull in the resources, the teams. We need to set out a plan, a pathway out of this mess that is for the long term. It's a very positive card, the Ace of Pentacles. It's sensible, it's practical. He's already shown with his earth shot and with his homeless thing that he does view things long term. He is prepared to put his money where his mouth is. He's building housing on his Duchy of Cornwall lands. So this is action. This is let's do something practical for the long haul. Ace of Pentacles. How does he see his role as king when that time comes? Page of Cups. It's still so interesting. I feel extremely tearful. It's still a junior energy. We've got 3 pages now. It's a supplicant kind of energy here. Prayerful. I keep saying this. We've been told he's not interested in church. He doesn't go to church. He's not interested in being the head of the Church of England. We hear that. I keep hearing a different story. It's not about church so much. It's about prayer. It's about meditation. It's about connecting directly with the divine. I think more and more of that in the world as we leave the age of Pisces and we move into the age of Aquarius. It's going to be quite a different engagement with how we define the divine, what the divine is, and how we relate to it. That's all in there for me. There's a lot in this reading for me. Page of Cups is really humbling himself, really, you can hear the birds shouting outside at Fluffy, I suspect. They're safe, but they're cross with her. So Page of Cups is relating to people from a very humble place. This is not, I'm the Lord, I'm not the Emperor here. Harry's energy would show up as Emperor in this place. He is coming across as trying to relate to people in a compassionate and an emotional way. That's how he sees his role. He sees his role as a peacemaker. The Page of Cups would be a peacemaker. Peacemaker, prince, peacemaker, king. Interesting. How frustrated is he, if at all? He might not be. I might be completely wrong. Three of Cups in reverse. He is frustrated. Three of Cups is celebrating and happy and hanging out with people, but it's more about friendships. It's about good times, relaxing, the world out there that's enjoyable. He doesn't see this role as pleasant. He sees that, and it's not the kind of energy that I was feeling. He sees it more as this is going to perhaps alienate people, distance himself from people that he might love. That the difficulty is around that. The difficulty is going to be around engaging with people. And no matter what he does, there's always a naysayer. He had an unfortunate gaffe at the BAFTAs where he said, oh, it looked like such fun filming that movie, and then it turned out to be all about, I have to not use the word, but assault of a certain kind, because you never know when this ends in processing hell. Huge gaffe. Myra on X was all over it, and this man can't be trusted, and he must go, and all this stuff. There's always going to be someone that's critical, someone that doesn't buy into your narrative, someone that doesn't see the good in what you're doing. That's what that Three of Cups is telling me. So his frustration really is about how to connect with people and how to get them on side. And he realizes that he can't, that he's going to lose people along the way as he goes through this journey. And he's a sensitive man, he's an intuitive man, he's an empath. It's hurtful for him when he realizes that people are taking his message the wrong way, or coming after him or after his family or stuff like that. It's hurtful. So it's not that he feels he can't get things done. It's the pain that he's going to take along the way that is interesting. How's he going to go as more of an activist king? How's that going to work out for him? The Magician in the reverse is going to be very tricky. Upright, it's manifesting, it's getting things done, it's having all the powers, all the possibilities. And he does really. He's got the money, he's got the PR, he's got the passion, he's got the emotional connection. He has all the stuff that the Magician has to manifest things, but it's in reverse. So it might take a long time, because the Magician in reverse can mean one of several things, and one of the things that it can mean is delayed activation of that energy. He might come up against also that trickster archetype in his journey forward, that he might come across people who try and derail him. We've already seen a sense of derailing here at an emotional friendship level, popularity level. He might come across real trickster archetypes who use all their resources to undermine him. Let's take another card on that. No, let's not. Let's leave it there. I think this tells us, this card that wanted to be on the table here, that he really wants to do things differently. That's how he truly feels, I think. I've got a little bit of shakes. I had to take an antihistamine tablet. Got stung by a wasp. So a little bit shaky this morning. But that Magician card in the reverse tells me he's got his work cut out in order to get to where he wants to be, in order to express the power that he potentially has. It's potential in that card, in the Magician in reverse, that he might have to play against people who are playing quite dirty behind the scenes, that sort of invested energy, certain complexes, which we're going to be looking in the next reading with Harry. In the old days, it was known as the military. Big space for the senses out here, industrial, even bigger space, and I'm going to blah, 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 that kind of complex. and he might be up against it with that. Just saying. We're going to look at that in the next reading.